But the emails clearly show that Jason Eade is giving the exact wording.
Well, I think, as I've always said, you know, what I think you see is a one-sided picture.
But is
with
that
lots of
appropriate
assumptions.
behaviour?
Well, you see a one-sided picture. There are lots of times where people have discussions about information. Mainstream media does that all the time. But the National Party is doing everything, in my opinion, above board. It's totally fine, nothing different to what any other political party would do. Mr Hager's making some claims, he can't back them up, and they're not factually correct. You've got a left-wing conspiracy, and you've got a whole bunch of people who are trying to discredit the government. This is Nicky Hager, who's a left-wing conspiracy theorist.
But the allegations in the book are very
direct. The allegations are wrong. This is Nicky. Yeah, this is Nicky Hager, one of life's great conspiracy theorists.
Are you saying that he's made up these quotes?
Well, what I'm saying is the person that would know is Cameron Slater. And Cameron Slater's made it quite clear it had nothing to do with the National Party.
So you think Cameron Slater's credibility is high? You'd believe him over Nicky Hager?
Well, he'd know. He did it.
But why should we believe Cameron Slater over Nicky Hager?
Because Nicky Hager's got nothing to prove it.
Well, he's got a bunch of emails.
No, he's making stuff up. No, I've never said he made up the emails. We all accept that the emails were stolen. National's been nowhere near Labour's website, as they said.
Known that he was poking around in that Labour website, you better acknowledge that this morning.
Well, I didn't know that at the time, but I mean, I'm not disputing that. But what I would say is,
so when you said that no one from the National Party had gone into that Labour website, you got that wrong?
No, what I said was it was nothing to do with us, and that's absolutely right. So my understanding of that, and I can only work off what I've seen on the blogs, was there was a situation where Cameron Slater, through another person, identified that the site was open. So that was nothing to do with us. We didn't do that. Now, yeah, he did go and have a look. Well, I'm just saying Nicky Hager's part of the left, and he's making a bunch of baseless accusations and theories which aren't right. I mean, they're factually incorrect. He's saying the National Party's been involved in the situation with the Labour site. That's not true. In the end, if Jason Eade's gone and had a look at it out of curiosity because Whale Oil did something about it, well, fair enough, but it doesn't make the National Party involved in it.
It has emails showing that Jason Eade was talking about trolling through the Labour Party website.
Yeah, well, that's not correct. It's nothing.
Are you saying those emails are false?
What I'm saying is it's nothing to do with us. What happened was Mr Slater's made it quite clear on his website today that in fact it was nothing to do with the National Party.
The IP address went back to your office?
No, I don't think that's right. It's nothing to do with our office.
That's a pretty damning allegation, though. Shouldn't you go and have a look at it, though?
Well, there's nothing for me to go and look at. I've asked my office, and that's the assurance I've been given.
So your inquiry is called Cameron Slater?
Well, I've asked my office, and that's the assurance I've been given, and that'll be correct. And Mr Slater's got nothing to hide.
It says, Jason Eade says, in my case, I wish to offer a hearty sigh of relief and celebrate dynamic IP addresses. He's clearly expressing relief that he didn't get caught.
Yeah, so I can't comment about those individual things because, again...
But is that appropriate conduct for a member of your office?
Well, the point I'd make here is that in the end, you are taking one slice of one piece of one information, which we don't have the context of everything else.
This looks like you should investigate it. It's a pretty serious allegation, and you're not even looking into it.
That's assumption you're making. Well, the reason I'm not looking about it is for this reason. We're 5 weeks from an election.
You said yesterday that the interactions between your ministers and bloggers were the same as they are with media. If that's the case, why aren't those interactions discoverable under the OIA? Why is your government and your office in particular refusing to release communications that there have been with bloggers? We can discover what each other have done here via the OIA, but we can't with bloggers.
We observe the law.
Well, in that case, if I can discover what the Herald did say on the Dong Hailu, which we did, and get that information, why is your office blocking the release of interactions that you've had with David Farrow and Cameron Slater?
Well, we observe the law.
So you're not going to release that information?
We observe the law. For most voters, they're going to see this for what it is. So what they've decided is they'll play the man, not the ball. Well, fair enough, but we're going to keep talking about the ball. Other people can keep talking about the man. Is the Labour Party telling us today that they didn't send Mike Williams to Australia to dig up dirt? Is the Labour Party telling us today that actually they played no part and no person in their office today played any part in terms of the secret taping of our things? Is it the Labour Party that's telling us that when it came to Transrail shares, their people didn't play any role in that? I mean, I do think it's vaguely interesting anyway that the dump of these is now being put up, as I understand. I haven't actually seen them on a site linked to the established one by Kim.com. All of this is out there. as a conspiracy theory from the left, which today are getting put up on the site, which arguably was established by Kim.com, which is a little bit spooky. What they want to do is run a smear campaign. And all I know is Nicky Hager's a left-wing conspiracy theorist who makes stuff up. That's because he's a left-wing conspiracy theorist that doesn't want the facts. This is a left-wing smear campaign. Okay, so let's understand this before we, just come down completely on the right. Okay, these are people that have stolen emails, that are doing this solely for the purposes of trying to discredit the government and put a slanted perspective on things.
Well, they say it's to
enough,
expose a very dark underside of the government. Well, that's not... Isn't that fair? That's whistleblowing.
No, it's not true. Well, the reason I'm looking at it is for this reason. We're 5 weeks from an election. I just don't think New Zealanders care about that issue. I'll guarantee you that the people who are watching this show this morning, in the end, will be far more interested in that than the dark arts of politics, which, by the way, is right across the political spectrum. But the National Party is doing everything, in my opinion, above board. It's totally fine, nothing different to what any other political party would do. Mr Hager's making some claims, he can't back them up, and they're not factually correct.